ABPG 1103 Introduction to Psychology in Memory. What is memory? What is memory? What is memory? Generally, when we talk about memory, people tend to relate it to our mental ability to remember something and how we can retain information over a period of time. You can gauge how good your memory is by how well you are able to store, recall, search or retrieve past events, experiences and certain information or knowledge acquired previously. Our memory also enables us to remember the good and bad experiences in our life. The study of memory began in the mid-19th century. German psychologist and philosopher Hermann Ebbinghaus applied scientific methods in the study of memory and discovered an important relationship between the time spent for learning and relearning. He discovered the level of retention and called it the saving method. He was well known as the pioneer who started scientific memory research by observing his own capacity for memorizing lists of nonsensical syllables. From the medical dictionary, memory is the process of recovering information about past events or knowledge. For instance, I am still able to recall some of my childhood experiences as well as some good and bad experiences during primary and secondary school days. Process of memory. Can you tell how great your memory is by remembering what you have learned in the classroom and how much you can memorize the important points told by your lecturer? Some of you may have a very good memory while others may not. Now, why does this happen? Many psychologists such as Alan Pastorino and Susan Doyle Portillo in 2009 describe the process of memory by using computer analogy. Through the information processing approach, you'll be able to understand the whole process of memory from acquiring to retrieving information from storage. We need to look at 3 questions to help us understand the actual process of memory. Like, how can information get into memory? How is information maintained in memory? And how do we get information back from our memory? ABPG 1103 Introduction to Psychology in Memory. When we talk about the process of memory, it concerns how humans put information into memory, maintain the information, and search or get the stored information back into consciousness. As such, a human mind is like a computer system because we use our mental ability to make sure of the smooth processing of information. There are several stages or processes which enable our memory to retain or store and also trace back the information, like encoding, putting data into memory, storage. It means keeping the coded information, and retrieval. It means searching back the stored information into consciousness. Encoding, it refers to our effort to put some input into our memory. For instance, you meet someone at a party. He or she tells you his or her name, but you do not pay much attention and forget the name. This means you have failed to learn or encode the name in your memory. Encoding here means the way we key in or put the information in our memory. Storage, it means the place where we keep or retain information in our memory. The encoded experience must leave some record in the nervous system as what we call memory trace. For instance, how we label or organize the books in our library. Even though there may be thousands of books, you are still able to search for any particular book. Therefore, the system of information storage is very important. And retrieval refers to the process of how we recall the information in our storage and pulling it into consciousness. The retrieval refers to our efforts to supply information from memory. For instance, can you remember the title of the psychology textbook you used last semester? If you can, it means you have successfully recalled the information from your memory into your conscious mind. Forgetting. Do you know that forgetting means our memory is failing and we are not able to retain information? In other words, we have lost or cannot retrieve the stored information. For example, many of us find that we can hardly remember what we have learned in the past or even yesterday's class. We often fail to memorize or recall important facts, right? As such, we would like to understand why such circumstances occur in our daily life. There are 9 of the reasons, like proactive interference, no attention, cue dependent, nutritional problems, aging factor, retroactive interference, retrograde amnesia and anterograde amnesia, source, confusion, and other causes. What about improving memory? Do you have a great memory? Perhaps some of us can memorize every single fact that we read. Unfortunately, not everyone has such an outstanding memory. There are, however, several ways to improve your memory. This means you have to really know how you are storing and retrieving information in your memory. For example, just imagine how you are able to remove certain items on a shelf and then replenish them easily. How do you do that? There are several ways that can help you improve your memory, like rehearsal, exercise your mind, spread out your study time, use the specific coding strategy, mnemonic devices, make associations, applying SPAR method, encoding specificity and influence of emotionally arousal.